Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 353. So last week, I had the Rona. This week, I'm feeling like $1 million. Still have a little congestion, but I'm doing great. Thank you for your concern in last vlog. Something else that somebody was concerned about in the last vlog, which is where we're going to start things, was actually from our friend. Where's the question? Wait for it. Sorry. Oh, if you have a business question, down below, start it with a business question and ask it. All right, so here's the question. It's from Anthony Hernandez. He says, P&P could easily be in Target. Something is seriously going wrong here, Aaron. Stryx, a male makeup company, was founded in 2019 and is already inside Target. P&P has been around since 2015 and just barely hit Amazon. Something isn't adding up, Chief. And that actually made me laugh. Something's up, Chief. Well, deal is Stryx is in more than just Target. They're also in, I believe, CVS and Nordstrom's. And I know the owner, Jon, one of the CMO, Jon Shanahan, very, very well, right? He had a YouTube channel. He still has a YouTube channel. I've known him for years. And so I thought, hey, why don't I call him and why don't we talk a little bit to Jon about Stryx? Stryx, for those who you don't know, is essentially a men's makeup company. And they're in Target. They were recently on Shark Tank. And so why don't we call Jon and see if he'll chat a little bit with us.
Hello.
Jon, what's up?
Hey, Aaron.
How are you?
I'm all right.
So you are live on the Tiege Hanley vlog, brother. Is it cool? Do you have a few minutes to talk a little bit about Stryx?
Yeah, long-time viewer, first-time caller to the Tiege.
First-time call. I called you, man. So listen, we got a comment on last vlog that basically is saying, hey, let me reiterate the question real quick. It's basically from our friend Anthony Hernandez. He said, P&P could easily be in Target. Something is seriously going wrong here, Aaron. Stryx, a male makeup company, was founded in 2019 and is already inside Target. P&P has been around since 2015 and has barely hit Amazon. Something isn't adding up, Chief. Jon, what is Stryx doing that I am not doing? Tell everybody a little bit about sort of the background of Stryx, what you guys are all about, and your kind of strategy in terms of your growth, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, I know this is a short vlog, so I'll save like the full hour explanation here. But yeah, effectively, we are a men's cosmetics company. We're trying to build the first beauty brand, and we knew from the outset that we needed to be in retail stores. So we went into CVS in 2020. We launched in Target this year. We're also in Nordstrom, and that's been from the beginning. Now, when Tiege started and Pete and Pedro, that was also in the era where it was like infinite scale online. You don't need retail. It's like D2C is the way. And I think a lot of business models are set up for that. But also, with both Pete and Pedro and Tiege, you're competing in a market where you're well positioned against others, but you also have to take, if you want in those stores, you have to take their shelf space. We effectively don't have a competitor,
and that's it.
Which effectively, I mean, there's a flip side to that, which makes it a lot more difficult. But we are growing the overall category, which is why retailers are interested in having us on the shelves, because we're not taking away another, skincare company. We're growing the category, but we also know that from our product and our brand perspective, that we need to show guys that a concealer is okay. So we want to be on shelves next to Harry's, the razors, the deodorant, and everything else. And so that's kind of the twofold reason why we needed to do that.
All right, so you guys are in 3 really huge, major, retail, big box stores. But you also have another component to your business, which is DTC, correct?
Yeah, and that's just how you build a modern brand.
And so what is the breakdown in terms of, you don't have to tell me the numbers specifically, but what is the percentage in terms of your annual revenue? Is what percentage big box retail, what percentage DTC?
Well, as we've grown, we're now closer to 50-50, which is where we want to be. We want to be distributed, and we want to, not be so reliant on a singular channel. Okay, so about 50%.
What do you see? Whoa, kids, Jon.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids here.
So there have been men's makeup companies before, right? I remember going into, I believe it was Ulta back in the day, and seeing some men's makeup, and it's gone away. And so talk a little bit about that space, because one of the things that you guys have done, and one of the reasons why I think that you guys have been so successful, is because, you are in a space that, there aren't many competitors. I mean, literally, like, the competitors that were there aren't there anymore. And so what happened? Why are you guys doing it different? And how are you different than other makeup companies that have tried it before?
Yeah, there's been a couple in the past, and in particular, their positioning was a little bit off. Especially there was one in the mid 2000s where they were only sold in the beauty shelves of Macy's stores and only with associates, and like that was a barrier for guys to embrace the category.
What was it called? Do you remember?
Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Okay.
It's actually a brand that's still around. It's a luxury brand. It's kind of like Tom Ford.
Okay.
Tom Ford has a beauty component, and they have a men's concealer. It's $55, and I think it's an aspirational thing. But nobody's come at it in this kind of like accessible price point with very straightforward messaging. And they've also, I don't think most guys don't know that this is a product they can really use or how to use it. And so for us to come in and say, this is exactly how and when you use it in a very straightforward way, has been what's held other brands back in this space.
I think also you've approached it from a regular guy perspective, and it isn't something so, kind of frou-frou and like super feminine. And I think that's one of the biggest sort of hurdles that you guys are going to continue to have to overcome, right? Because makeup, for all intents and purposes, have been viewed and seen as a feminine product. And so you guys are coming in and being like, hey, we're just regular dudes. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look good and be confident. How much do you feel that your timing in terms of 2019, very quickly or soon after that, the pandemic kind of started and everybody was FaceTiming, everybody was on video. How much do you think the timing has either helped or hurt your business in terms of your brand?
Oh, timing. I mean, timing is everything. And not just the pandemic, but also we're riding a wave that I always say started with Mad Men. And like you had Mad Men that showed guys that could wear suits, and then skincare companies started catering to guys. Bulldog, launched 10 years ago, not to mention a competitor on the Tease vlog. But then you also had like beard brand and beard companies say it's okay to buy products for your beard and take care of yourself as a guy. And so we're riding like that wave where guys start to care about their appearance. They want their skin to look better. And then we're the logical progression to that, which is like you can wash your face and use your moisturizer and everything. You still might have a little redness. And so concealer is really the only way to instantly cover that up, outside of plastic surgery.
And so what would you say, who is your demographic? Who's your target demographic? That's something that has always fascinated me.
Yeah, so we actually have almost a third of our customers are over 40. It's not just young guys or teenagers or Gen Z or millennial. Like, it really is across the spectrum from an age group. And something like 75% of our customers have never bought a cosmetic before. So it's a lot of guys that already have a skincare routine, but they want that next step. And so, yeah, we have guys in their 50s that buy our tinted moisturizer for rosacea. And we have guys that are in their 20s that are using it for their acne. And it's like, if you make a great product, it can span those use cases. It's really about finding where they're at and targeting those use cases and communicating it effectively.
How have you, because one of the things we talk about a lot on this vlog is kind of marketing, right? Because marketing is the number one thing that you've got to figure out if you expect to grow and build a successful business. What have you guys done differently, or how have you actually leveraged social media in order to sort of grow your brand? Because one of the big questions a lot of guys are asking is, okay, I've got a product, I've got a business, but I like, where should I advertise? What should I do? How do I get people to know about me? And that honestly is the biggest issue and thing that people have to figure out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, my background as a YouTuber was really helpful, and we have a lot of tutorials on YouTube, but we really quickly found out that the more video we do, it's easier to show what it is, what it does. And so I leaned into TikTok in 2019. I did a Menfluential talk on TikTok in 2020. I felt like I was behind then, but we've just found TikTok to be the most acceptable, like the most open to these products place. And it's the best place that I can get on and show what it is, how it does, communicate the brand message, talk even more about the wider philosophy of what we do, which is like our goal is to normalize this stuff and help guys access these products and that really resonates there. And then we can take that message. We keep finding now that if it works well on TikTok, it works well on Facebook and Instagram, and then that kind of catalyst is what enabled us to get into Target, because Target could see we had a community, we had a customer base, there's interest. Up retail channels like that.
What how you were on Shark Tank? You guys were on Shark Tank recently. How was that?
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Well, I'm just trying to follow in the footsteps of my idol YouTuber here.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys got a lot more interest than I did both times. So tell everybody a little bit about that experience. Was it awesome? Was it, the best day ever? Has it changed the trajectory of your business, or was it a little bit of a disappointment? Because both times I was on, if I'm being honest, it was a bit of a disappointment. The first time was a horrible, unmitigated disaster. Not only did I not get a deal, nobody bought my style system for $300 afterwards. All right, so that was a complete flop. The next, when I went on for Pete and Pedro, it was the best thing that she was talking about was me as an influencer and talking just about, me and my YouTube channel. And the fact is, though, that, in terms of sales for Pete and Pedro, it really didn't do much. I did more business the week leading up to that, just doing a YouTube video talking about, hey, I'm going to be on Shark Tank, and right now I'm having a discount down below. What was it like for you guys? Was it a kind of a anticlimactic thing, or was it more than you expected?
The parallels are uncanny. I would say, it was unreal to go film, be in the tank, shoot it, the preparation, everything. Devere and I were just we had everything down cold, and we could have done that pitch, in our sleep. As far as the airing, I believe the month before we aired, we did more sales off of a single viral TikTok than our Shark Tank episode. So it's whether it's, an audience fit or the fact that Shark Tank might not be as big as it used to be. A lot of people catch it on Hulu, so we didn't have a huge spike on Friday. We saw just a really good momentum Friday, Saturday, Sunday as the episode hit Hulu. We're actually airing again this Friday. This is going to go. We'll miss the vlog. I didn't get to tell you we're going to re-air here.
The big question, I got a deal on Shark Tank with Barbara. And one of the coolest things I have in my office that I show people that like Shark Tank is the kind of agreement that I got as soon as I was done filming. They come in your office and are like, okay, sign this. Here's her card. Here's this, here's that. I did not take the deal. And rumor has it that around 90% of the deals that you get seen or that you see on Shark Tank get done don't actually come to fruition for one way or the other. Once they go into the due diligence process, it either falls apart from the shark's perspective or from the business owner's perspective. So, drum roll please. You guys got a deal for, what was it, $500,000 for what? Tell everybody the negotiated terms of your deals that aired.
Yeah, our ask was $600 for 5. We took the deal with Robert for $600 for 10. And then we didn't get an agreement or anything. We just never got a deal. We sent some documents and paperwork. We want the
so it didn't happen.
Follow up never happened. Yeah.
It didn't happen. What was your valuation going in there?
$12 million.
Are you guys doing $12 million in sales?
No, that's not how these things work.
All right. So that's the other thing. That was the one thing that I saw when I was watching that show, John, and I was rooting for you guys. I'm like, all right. I'm like, $12 million? I'm like, damn. Because I happen to know a little bit more about your sales and stuff at that point, and because you and I talk often, and so I was super impressed. I'm like, man, they are proud of this men's makeup company.
Yeah, that's just how early stage companies work.
Yeah. Have you guys raised a bunch of money? Talk a little bit about that. Because one of the things that we've discussed on this vlog is kind of it's a tricky line you have to sort of dance, right? Or walk. Ideally, the ideal situation is that you start a business, you have enough money, and then you use your profits in order to grow your business and have enough for marketing, have enough to fulfill purchase orders. And that is one of the things that is kind of rare for both Pete and Pedro, but also more specifically Tiege Hanley. The fact that we have grown to the level that we have without ever taking outside capital is kind of it is unique in the world of private equity. And so talk a little bit, you guys have raised a little bit of money, correct?
Yeah, I say, relative, a lot is relative because in my mind, I know companies that aren't much bigger than us have raised more money. But yeah, we raised like a friends and family round really early on, and then a seed round. I know the number I think we had said in Shark Tank is to date we had raised 1.5 million, and we're still kind of around there. We haven't continued to raise just because we don't want to grow faster than we can. Also because we tried and we couldn't get that much interest. So the market kind of spoke to us as you've recounted on the Tiege vlog for yourselves.
So you guys tried to raise more money, but people and these different funds were not, what were they not, why did they not invest? Was it that it was a symptom of COVID and everybody was scared? Was it that you weren't profitable? Was it that you weren't big enough? Like the valuation was wrong? Like what would you say was the reason why you didn't get more interest in terms of equity or people willing to invest at this early stage?
No, there's a lot of conviction, I would say, and interest in the men's grooming and skincare space, but there's not a second step of that. There's not a lot. I'd say there's a lot of interest. There's not a lot of conviction. So a lot of people know that it's a growing category, it's an interesting space, but there have not been, outside of a handful of companies, there have not been massive exits to prove to people that this is a VC size business, which is, you need an exit in the 500 million plus range to really qualify for that. And so if you can't say with a straight face and with like absolute certainty that you'll be a $100 million revenue brand within 3 years, a lot of VCs are like, well, you're not going to grow fast enough and we're not going to get the exit that we need in order to make the funds work out. A
lot of times though, in the past anyway, these companies that have raised money, it's kind of like a hot potato, right? Who gets left with it? Everybody, and I think, I personally think that the climate has changed for investors, big investors, and it is not good enough just to grow your top line. You do, I think now we're seeing, I believe, sort of people are now like tightening their belts a little bit and they want to see that a company is actually not just fat and sloppy and wasting money, which is a very easy thing to do when you raise a ton of money, right? You'll see a lot of these companies that are just, they waste money because they've got it, right? And so do you agree with that statement or no?
100%. There's also, if you look at like Honest, who went public, they outraised their equity capital more than their current market value, and them and like it's pretty well known in the industry that Dollar Shave Club was not a great acquisition in the end for Unilever. And so like there's a lot of data points now that show that those pure play D2C brands didn't work out because of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just fat. They're just acquiring customers. And you've also heard of companies like what was it, Blue Apron, or one of these like box services where we talk a lot about like customer acquisition costs, right? Customer acquisition cost is $200, but the LTV or lifetime value of their customer is $150. The math doesn't work. And so you really need to pay attention to that LTV, that long-term, customer value, and what you're acquiring that customer for. Is Stryx profitable yet or no?
Oh yeah.
You're profitable. So you guys are doing well enough with the Target and your DTC brand that you guys are not just burning through all of your cash at this point.
Right. Yeah, and that's part of the bet that a lot of investors make is like, if we give you this money, can you reach a point where you won't need more money? And the only money you continue to raise is for faster growth or new channels.
It's funny. One of the things that I said to Kelly up front early on, Kelly and I and Rob, more specifically Kelly, thought he's like, we need to probably raise money just to have the cash, have the cash. And the thing that I would always say to him, I said, if you got $1 million, if I gave you $1 million, how would you spend it in order to turn it into $2 million? And we could never really answer that question. And so that was kind of like a sign to us, like, you know what, we don't want to just take it just to dilute ourselves and to have less of our business if we don't know that we can use that money and deploy it as like, just an investment to get a better return on that money and build the company into a more valuable and profitable business. And so we never took money. We went out there and we looked, we kind of poked around, and we ended up deciding to stop raising and fix some of the fundamental issues that we had as a company from an acquisition perspective and from an a retention perspective, and it was one of the best decisions that we ever made, because now we kind of tightened our belt, we cut a lot of our fat or a lot of the expenses that were just not moving the needle, and getting more disciplined and really trying to focus and hone in on the top funnel and the customer experience throughout the entire lifespan of that customer. And so that was one of the best things that we've ever done, and we're seeing kind of the fruits of our labor now, and it's really exciting for us. But well, Jon, this is awesome. Since I got you on the phone, and gentlemen, if you haven't dropped this video, one of these, Jon is bringing some super knowledge, more so than you would have definitely gotten if it was just me, because Jon is a smarter dude than I am. But here's the deal, Jon, since I've got you, why don't, there are a few business questions. Could you maybe give your 2 cents?
Fire away.
All right, here we go. All right, Steven Yans says, hey Aaron, just curious, since you have many companies, if you were to pick one as your baby, AKA your favorite, which would it be? Also, this is a random, but you let us know why you and Starbucks broke up. Okay, so I guess this one isn't really involving you. I don't have a favorite business. They're all my babies. Enemy is currently my stepchild, though. Jon, do you have any other businesses or just the one right now with Stryx?
Well, the Cavalier was my YouTube channel that literally enabled me to be part of Stryx, because Devere followed my YouTube channel and found me through there. And then that basically proved that I could build a community, build a YouTube channel, communicate a message. And so that will always be, and then the Cavalier was what enabled me to leave my corporate 9-to-5 job and go out on my own before this all happened. And so like that will forever be like, a huge part of my identity. And so, yeah, for sure.
Okay, here's a business question. This one's a long one. I'm going to read it. It's from Caesar Charlotte. All right, here it is. Are you ready, Jon?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? All right, here we go. You express how Tiege has enormous potential and could potentially be bought or acquired by a bigger company in the future. I talked about that last vlog a little bit, Jon. From what I gather, when a company is bought or acquired, you, Rob Kelly Scientist Alpha, Aaron, would lose some, if not all, control of the future of Tiege Hanley. It's possible that the future operations team could change Tiege from what you four have created and make lesser products for bigger margins or other changes. How does an entrepreneur like yourself balance the fact that you create an amazing company with great vision, but as the company grows and other leadership is present, it stops from being your baby and could become something unrecognizable from its original intention? Wowzers. That's an incredible question. Jon, what say you?
Yeah, I love this one, because you have to think about this when you raise money. There is that point where this is the next step in the business. And I think, from my perspective, there's certain things, and I feel like you'd be similar to this too. There's certain things you want to do every day, and there's certain things you're really good at. And part of the bet that you are taking when you partner with a bigger company like that is that they're going to take the baton and continue with your original premise, or like the thing you set out to build and do, but just change internal things that you don't have the expertise for to take it to the next level that either you couldn't get to as fast or see bigger potential. I know for us, we would love to be a more international company. We have a lot of inbound interest from customers and retailers outside the country, but we're a small team. We can't handle that. And partnering with a bigger company could help, share that distribution. It's all about aligning that up front with the company that's going to say, we can do this for you and go there. You need to have the right partnership within there. And there's plenty of examples of founders that are now inside of larger companies. Billy Razors is a great example of that. Billy Razors, they exited to Edgewell, and the two founders are now running the company within Edgewell as part of their larger global shave business, but they get way more access to capital and internal resources, development,
talent,
exactly. So it's a trade-off. It's like, do you want complete control, or do you want to potentially, get to the moon? Elon Musk couldn't build SpaceX by himself. He had to bring in a bunch of extra people. Yeah,
and I'm just gonna agree with you, because that was more eloquent and well thought through than I could ever do. But yes, you think about that. But I think as an entrepreneur, one of the feathers in an entrepreneurial cap there are a few different mindsets, right? Building a business that is going to churn a bunch of cash, that you are, passionate about a lifestyle business. You hear people talk about a lifestyle business where you're good, you're in it, you're going to work it for the next 20 years, 30 years, and you're going to take out your $500,000 a year and live a very happy, fulfilled life and help other people in terms of your employees do, have security and stable jobs. But there's this other piece as an entrepreneur that the idea of selling a business that you've built that is valuable enough and successful enough that somebody larger would like to come in and take it to that next level, that's another super sexy, appealing thing. And, at Tiege Hanley, we have always from the beginning known that we want to do something amazing. We want to change the skincare world for regular dudes that just want to look and feel amazing. But we also knew that if we were successful, the chance of us being acquired was great. And so when you think about it like that, and you're investing your time, your money, your resources, you've got to look at it as a return. What are you going to get an ROI on in terms of your time, your money, your energy? And so, you're looking at that, right? If I were to, think about all of the money that I potentially put into Tiege Hanley, in terms of my capital for time and videos and promotions and stuff like that, it's a lot of money, right? If I were charging Tiege Hanley just like I would have like a regular sponsor, it would have been a lot of money. And then my time, that's valuable. I'm on meetings, I'm on calls, but you don't think about it like that. You think about, okay, in the future, what can this time, this investment that you're making now, what could it potentially pay off? Now, in terms of, aligning yourself with the right partner, that is critical for not only them, you, but your customers. And so that is something that we are ultra aware of. And, hopefully at some point we'll be able to have that chance and that choice. But, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to stay in the business, or maybe they'll toss us the keys, or we'll toss them the keys and they'll be like, all right, great job. Peace. We're out. Thanks for building an incredible company. Jon, that was awesome.
Thanks.
Where can they find you and your company?
I'll drop a comment down below. You can find the Cavalier as always, and then maybe I'll comment from the Stryx YouTube channel too. But we're most active on TikTok. That's where you can see me in my bathroom every day, putting on makeup and showing guys how to instantly fix their face. And then I know this is a business vlog. I think LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn as well. If you want to reach out there and just connect professionally, just mention either Tiege or Alpha, and I'll make sure I get you connected.
Jon, we're going to wrap things up, but is there a way that we wrap things up that you would want to take this out? Gentlemen, we what? Love you.
We love you more than our double monk strap shoes.
Jon, you're a rock star. Later, brother. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Gentlemen, that was awesome. Drop the video and Jon one of these. Lots of incredible knowledge. And as Jon said, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. Later.